Wow, it's annual planning time. So your annual planning session is coming up. And this session is something special. We only do it once a year together with the team, the entire team. And it gives a great opportunity because it's 2 days to really work on the team dynamics, team bonding, getting the team more cohesive, even bigger level of cohesion and functionality. And of course, we are going to do a lot of stuff in there too, but team bonding is more important, let's say, than compared to, for example, a quarterly. We don't do a lot of celebration of progress and success in the EOS sessions, but in the annual, we will do it a little bit more elaborate. So it's also about where you've come from, where you are now, what's been the progress. And of course, it's where you want to go next. So strategic planning will be very important aspect of the annual session too. In person always beats virtual for this type of sessions. So, but when circumstances do not permit personal in-person sessions, then you have to do them virtual. So please be aware, or please take care that you need to foresee the time for this team bonding stuff. So how do you do this? Same as in the in-person setting. At the end of the first day, do something nice and fun together on the screen then, but you can imagine something, be creative about it. Also for the breaks, especially for the lunch break, and even in the evening, try to eat together on the screen. So get food in, order food and eat together and talk about the food and the drinks and whatever. So to get this team bonding feeling also in your virtual meeting, but in-person beats everything else. So prepare then. In terms of preparation, what do you need to prepare and how does preparation look like? Well, it's kind of similar than for the quarterly session, but you go a little bit more in detail and more in depth. But first, let me start with why prepare. If you don't prepare and come in unprepared, you will just not get these deep results that you expect from this annual. It will be less rewarding and it will not set you up for a great year. If you do prepare, it will set you up for a better year. So why prep? Get a 10x better and more and in-depth results. The session time during an annual session, it's only 2 days, it's only 16 hours, and there is a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff to do. So time is limited, time is precious. It would be a waste of time, of precious time, for example, when you have to calculate through numbers, or when you walk in unprepared and can't think of important stuff that you should think of. And of course, it's the most expensive session of the year. All your salaries, my session fee, the venue cost, the travel cost, and so on. So make it count, make every euro or whatever currency you're in, make it worth it. So how to prepare? What to prepare? Always, every year, reread the 5 dysfunctions of a team, or listen to an audio version, or watch a video on YouTube. But why? Because every year, with progressing insight and learnings, you will learn something new. A new detail in the book will help you to get better, more functional team. And it will set you up for, during the session, have a better team dynamics deep dive. That's why you should do this. So start in time. Reading a book, it takes some time. Start in time. Then next one is why else prepare? Well, help me prepare. So help me come in prepared and with deeper questions, looking from a broader perspective. You also get an email. Use this email really as a checklist. Go through it, work through it point by point and check it off if you have done it. And send me the documents or give me access to your information in time, so I can read and I can be prepared. I'm your partner in this, and I want to maximize my impact for your success as a team and your company. So help me prepare a better and come better prepared. Then what to prepare? Your EOS tools, obviously. So start with the VTO, starting with the VTO, and go through it, walk through it section by section. Then note the issues, note everything you want to talk about, and introduce them in the appropriate time in the session, but be prepared. Come with your own issues list. And then during the session, when you all do this, it will enable us to co-create a better plan for next year and next quarter. So one by one, I said, core values. Do we really hire, fire, reward, review based on this? Is it still what we are as a company? Is it still our unique culture and DNA? And are we all using the core value speech consistently? Are N-1s, our direct reports, are they using the core value speech consistently? Are we using it consistently throughout the organization? Think about it. Core focus then, is it still what you are, what we are? Does everybody know it? Is it a filter for this not getting distracted by shiny stuff? So do we use it? Do we use it? Do we do things outside of the core focus? And so on. Then go to the 10-year target, your long-term motivation target, where you want to go, and that all the other targets that we are setting should help you get there. Do you still feel that it is motivating you? Are we maybe ready to move it to the 3-year picture if we're coming closer to it? And so on. So that's it. Marketing strategy. Are we consistently using all our time and money for marketing and our active sales efforts to the target market, to the list? And are we consistently communicating our 3 uniques, what sets us apart from the competition? Are we, if applicable, consistently using the proven process, and if applicable, consistently using the guarantee? If not, that's just issues, put them on your list, maybe something to talk about during the session. Then move on to the 3-year picture. So in the annual session, we will create a new 3-year picture. So start thinking about it. Where do you want to be if we put the stick out 1 more year? So come up with new numbers. No need to consolidate this and validate this within the team, but be prepared, because that's what we're going to do inside the session. And this is where teams may lose time if they're not prepared, because then people start to calculate and then we have to wait and losing precious time. Then what does it look like? So maybe some of the bullet points that are there are still valid when we move the needle for another year. But maybe some of them will need to be fixed in the next year. So those are candidates to be moved to the 1-year plan. Some of them are maybe not relevant anymore because we have seen progress and have progressed and have new insights and so on. So, but ask yourself also the question, what would we need to do to get there 10 times faster or get a 10x better result? And I say, whoa, wait a minute. We will never get there because of, well, the because of, those are issues, probably the real issues that we need to address to facilitate the growth and the evolution of the organization where you want it to be in the next 3 years. So just some steering the pot and starting to think about it. Then we go to the year plan and the rocks. The year plan, what did we learn from it? Are we where we wanted to be in this point in time? If not, what are the gaps? What are the gains? Where did we win? Where did we lose? If we're looking back, what do we never want to do again? But also, what can we maximize? What can we take this one step or this one level further and maximize it? If develop it further, and so on. So it will create probably some new ideas for new year goals and maybe rocks. But also, when you look at the rocks and the year, look at the rocks of the entire year. What did we do? What didn't we do? What did we kind of forget in the meantime? And so on. So prepare. Then have a look at your issues list. Some of those issues may be solved, may have evaporated or not relevant, simply not relevant anymore. But the ones that remain, which are the ones that are relevant for the annual? So we can put them easily on the issues list. No need for a long discussion there. Again, probably not the best use of the time, but if you are prepared, we can make this smooth. And then any new issues you would like to add. So, and then as said before, in the session, we co-create a fabulous plan for the next year. Then let's continue. What's your scorecard? What did it tell you? Does it really give you a pulse on the business? Also for the scorecard, if you think about priorities for the next year and potential goal for the next year, here you find the goal, the link better. The link between scorecard and the one-year plan. So on the day 2, the second day of the annual, we'll link them together, do the heavy lifting, and align the two. Don't forget, also, in terms of your scorecard, look at your accountability chart. What does success look like when you're sitting on your seat? What does success look like when you're running a department? Could be influencing the scorecard and may get you ideas for new indicators or scrapping old indicators. What next? The accountability chart, obviously. Take a deep dive. Are there any organizational issues? Who's around the table in the leadership team? Could be an elephant in the room, but are you there with the right people? Are there not people too much? Is all the capacity that you need, is it there? So start there. Then look at your N-1, your direct reports. Look deeper in the organization. Do we have everything to support our one-year plan? Do we have everything to support our 3-year picture? With the knowledge you have today, of course, again, we'll do a lot of the work in the session, especially on day 2, when we crystallize the 3-year, the one-year plan and the rocks for the next quarter. We need to figure out if we have the right organization. But again, a lot of stuff can be prepared prior to the session. So, questions: where do we need to scale up? Where do we need to simplify? Where maybe do we need to move or shift resources? Do we have GWC issues in the organization? And so on. All of them are issues. Please prepare them, and we'll work for a better outcome. Then again, next thing, look at your agenda, your calendar. Go back 12 months, go back to the previous annual, go back to your vision building day 2, if this is your first annual. What happened? It feels like a century ago, but go through it, browse it week by week. I'm sure you'll find stuff that is no longer top of your mind, but is great progress, is great stuff to celebrate. Write them down. But I'm also sure you'll find forgotten issues, things that have just, they're just bottom of the pile and they've never resurfaced, but they're there and they're real and they're actual and they're relevant. So bring them. So you find them by browsing through your calendar, through your agenda. Also, go forward, look forward, go for 12 months. Identify identify your big priorities. And the best thing is to reverse engineer from your 3-year picture and your 1-year plan. Think, what do we need to do? What will be the priorities? You'll be a lot more proactive, a lot less in firefighting modus. And consider that you will have the tendency to overestimate what you can do in a short time, for example, the next year, but you underestimate usually what you can do in 5 years or 10 years. So try to balance that as good as possible. And come with an open mind. Come with an open mind to the session for a good outcome. So to conclude, dig deep. Why? To make this the best, most valuable and rewarding session of the year and get value for the money that you're investing in this session. Get prepared for a great year ahead. So as a team, as a company, as a person, that's why you need to prepare. And then finally, do you have any questions? Do you need a prep talk? Do you need a pep talk? Contact me. I'm Help First. I'm part of your team. I'm part of your success. I want to maximize my impact for your success. With that said, I am looking forward to an awesome annual with your team. Can't wait. See you.